Hello, my name is Tricia Duffin. I am the Director of Customer Success here at Gavel. I'm very excited to show you a brief tutorial on the comparison of Gavel and Woodpecker. We know that a lot of you are coming and looking at our platform, and we want to be able to show you a little bit of a comparison between the two tools and why you will want to choose Gavel in the long run. So I'm showing you my screen here. This is what our Gavel site looks like. This is a site that you will have with your own subdomain here that will allow you to create questionnaires. We start with the questions. We ask the questions that need to be inputted into your documents. And these will go into all the documents that you need. And so what we like to do is start with the different questions so that you can be able to take them and run them as often as you need to. I'm going to show you this in a sample intake form by clicking Run here. And what you're going to find is it's going to have a set of questions that I'm inputting the data into. So if I go ahead and continue here, we'll see just the information that I want to input from our client, like the legal name, date of birth, the marital status, etc. We do have this so that you can customize it to all different looks and feels. And the idea being is that this is going to take it's going to help you a lot with your overhead of like being able to get people onboarded on your team or helping your clients be able to fill out this information for you so you don't have to re-enter the information more than once. The way Gavel is really focused on is really gathering the data that your clients and you need about the clients in order to put them into all of your templates in one fell swoop. That's the idea. So here we start with these different questions. You can see that you have a section side over here. They're all different types of questions dependent on if you are answer certain ways will output different questions that you need to answer. You set all of this up so that you're only asking the questions that you need from your clients to input into their documents, right? You also have options on what gets outputted. You can attach 80 documents to the back of one workflow, use conditional logic to only output certain documents that pertain to the answers that were provided in this questionnaire. So that's going to be one of the main differences I want to show you from the very beginning is that we start with the questions. We start with gathering that information. And that's going to be the main crux of the difference between us and Woodpecker. So if I go to our actual template, I have one here, a legal representation agreement that I'm looking as an example. We do have an add-in as well. It's our Gavel document tagger. And the difference is you will open this up for all of your different documents, and you'll be able to select the different variables from your workflow. So if I go ahead, I look into my login. I'm going to log into my site that I have here. It connects through an API key that's provided in your dashboard. And we'll see the different workflow that is attached to my account here on this builder too. So I have here all the different variables that are in this workflow that I can now input into this legal representation agreement. So this is something that you'll be one-for-one doing for all of your documents. This is what separates us from Woodpecker as well. So although we do have an add-in that allows you to input variables into it, you don't actually use this to create variables. All variables are created within our builder site. This is really just to tag said variables into your template. This template is your document template that you will then use to attach to your workflow and run. You'll only use this add-in while making edits or changes to your template. That's the only time that you will use our add-in. So I'm going to go start with an example here by starting a workflow. I'm just going to create a very simple workflow. We do have some options for creating workflows, but we're going to call this our legal rep doc. All right, and so I have here our builder site where I'm going to be adding those questions. I can see here, I can label this page to be something like attorney information. I can add questions such as a text area to just ask for the attorney name. And then I need to create a variable for it. I can do the same, just keep adding questions for all the different questions that I need for this document, and then I can just go through and then I'll be able to tag it once I add all the questions. So I've added 2 pages here. I have one page that has just the attorney name and the attorney address. And then I have a second page for the client information with the client name, the client address, and I do have a set of questions, a yes/no question. Do they have an A number? And if so, there's logic that's set on this to only show that question if they do have an A number to ask for that question. So now that I've clicked save on here, my next step is going to go to number 2. So number 1 is creating the questions, and number 2 is going to be our document document templates. So we're going to attach our document template to the back end of here. Again, you can attach as many documents as you would like to this workflow. So do not hesitate to go ahead and upload as many as you would like to the back end here. You do have options as well on what type of document gets outputted. So I'm going to make this a docx because I do know I want to edit it afterwards. So this way I'm going to make it a docx. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And now I have this attached to my workflow. So the idea being that I can ask these questions and a document will so far output, but the document doesn't have the variables in it yet. This is where our add-in comes in. So once you've made all your questions and you've set all the questions up that you need to put an input, you can go back to your Word document. I'm here already logged in, so I'm gonna go ahead and refresh my screen because I just created all those different questions and variables. And I'm gonna go ahead and look at my new workflow, which is that legal rep doc that I made. We'll see all the variables that I inserted there that I created are inputted here. So we know I have the attorney name, the address, the client name, the client address, and the client A number. So let me go ahead and input those. So I'm going to start by highlighting whatever I would like to replace with the variable. And then I'm going to go ahead and find the name for the attorney. I do want this to be all uppercase because I want it to match the format that I have here. I'm going to insert the variable. We'll see that it's not set in bold, so I'm going to need to highlight that and insert that as bold. Once it's all set as bold, this will output in all caps with bold. So we're going to go through that on all the different question types as well. One of the things that also separates us from other sites is we do show syntax. This allows you to make a lot more advanced, complex logic and things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do with other platforms, because we can help you find the syntax to make your document output as close to pristine as possible. All right, so now I have the variables set up for this. I do want to show you that you're also able to use things such as show phrase when and show paragraph when you want certain sections to only be shown if they apply for that person. So here I have this A number that's listed here, but I only want to show this if there is actually going to be an A number. So I'll go ahead and put my yes, no question here, client A number. If it is yes, this will show as a paragraph. And you'll see it has the syntax around it, meaning these two lines here will disappear and only that A number with that variable is going to appear in its stead. If it is no, none of that will appear here. So I'm going to go ahead and save this simple document here, and then I'm going to find it to replace because I've already uploaded it to my workflow. It's now going to be replaced, done on here. So now I like to go here. I like to go ahead and save one more time because I'm an extra saver. And let's go ahead and click run and see how the magic works. So I'm going to go ahead and put in John Doe for my attorney. Okay. We're going to say it's Peter Piper. We're going to say yes, they do, which is going to ask me that follow-up question. And we're just going to put in some numbers here and a letter. Continue through. Then we have our review page where we can make edits or changes, and you can also get back to this page as well. I hit continue, and now that data is going to be input to that document. Again, you can have as many documents set here as you'd like. It's just up to you on how you want to set that up. But if I look here, it has John Doe. I have here. There's a little bit of formatting things we need to figure out with the Word document, but overall, it's output everything we needed at this point to show you how to get started within Gavel. And the idea is that you can then have all of this data living within your system. So if I go back to our dashboard, we have a thing called Data Manager that allows you to look up previous documents that you have or previous data sets that you've gathered. So here's what the workflow that we just finished together here. I can actually utilize this to re-download documents if I need to. I can also open this up. It's going to take me to that final page. I click that back button. Now I'm at the review page. I'm able to make any edits or changes I need to. The address was inputted incorrectly, and then I can reconstitute all the templates again with the updated data. I can also choose to move data from workflow to workflow. So if you have another set of questions that you would like to push that data through, you can. So you can reuse your answer sets over and over again and output as many documents as you'd like. So as you can see, there's a lot here that is similar to what Woodpecker has. But what this is going to allow you to do is a lot more robust documentation. We also connect with Zapier, so you can have these documents be moved to any other platform that you'd like. You can also pull in data from other platforms. We have a direct integration with Clio if that's something that you utilize. We're definitely excited to show you around, and we hope to get you over from Woodpecker to Gavel as soon as possible.